Well, good morning. Here we go. We just did it. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So my name is Irina Morrison, for those that haven't met me yet in any way, shape or form. So I am one of the core team members for World Unity Week as well as Unity Earth. And I've been looking after co-conveners. Any questions, anything that you may want to find out further, feel free to reach out and get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to assist and answer any questions. So today we'll go over a few things, and then we'll open the floor for questions. If you have any questions, Becky and I will be here to give the answers straight away. So probably the easiest way and the easiest thing to start with would be your logos. So if you filled out the participation form and tick the co-convener or chosen the co-convener as the way to participate during World Unity Week, you probably would have gotten a chance to attach your logo. And we grab the logo from there. Derek, our tech guy, does that for us. And he puts the logos, the co-convener logos, on our website. Do I have right to share the screen, Becky? Yeah. So I'll just quickly share to make sure that everyone knows how to find. So the World Unity Week website, which is worldunityweek.org. If you go to the top menu, there's an About button, and it'll take you to this page saying World Unity Week Global Online Event. Scrolling all the way down, you will find a section of co-conveners with all the logos. So as you can see, there's already so many. I believe we had over 100 co-convener submissions. Am I correct, Becky?
We had, I think, was that for last year? I think we're closer to 200 this year. I don't know the exact number, but it's astonishing, representing everybody here. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting World Unity Week.
So if you're not sure that if you've sent your logo yet, and if your logo's up already, I invite you to go onto the website to this particular page. Just scroll down, have a look, see if you can find your logo. And if it's not on here, please reach out. Send it to myself or Becky, and then we'll pass it on to our technical team to include it on our website.
I put the link to that page in the chat for everyone. So when you have a chance, if it's missing, it doesn't mean that it's not in the system, but we're continuing to receive submissions. And so we just need to notify our web designer that it's there and ready to be added. So do let us know.
Yes. Any questions about logos? I think that's pretty straightforward. Have a look via that link that Becky shared. If you can't find your logo, reach out, send it to us. As Becky said, it doesn't mean that it's not in the system already. Perhaps it just means that Derek just, didn't have chance or time to put it up just as yet. But anyhow, regardless, let us know. Becky, do you want to put our emails in the chat? Okay, so moving from logos onto the Co-Convener Agreement. And you should all receive this little document. Once again, very simple, very straightforward. World Unity Week is a free event. It was last year and it always will be. So therefore, we don't really ask for much, but we do appreciate the support in promoting the event, which is beneficial for all parties. So the 4 points on the Co-Convener Agreement: to attend at least one of the 2 monthly assemblies during March, April, May, and June. So we have decided to have one last assembly, which will be on the 16th of June, 3 days before we officially kick off with World Unity Week. And March, April, and May assemblies were all about onboarding people, inviting newcomers, explaining what the World Unity Week is about, giving information updates. And then the June assembly, we just really want to gather together and create that feel before we actually officially start with the event. You are, of course, welcome to invite your guests and your presenters to this last assembly, so we can all gather one time before we actually go live. Point number 2, to make at least one free presentation of original material during World Unity Week. I think we're all in agreement with that and looking forward to it. And I know that we've all been preparing, at least those groups and organizations and individuals that I've been working with. So this is really exciting. Point number 3 is one that we ask and appreciate: the promotional support. And that point says to make at least 2 email blasts to your networks, to your database, whichever way. Becky, do you want to share the spreadsheet? So
yes,
I'll stop sharing and we can actually take them through the tabs and just show them what we prepared in support for the email blasts. So Becky and I have been working on providing a little guidelines, which is now put into a spreadsheet. So you'll get a template of a general copy about World Unity Week that you can send to your network, to your databases. And of course, you can tailor that to your own language, whatever else you want to say. If you want to invite them to either present, to be part of your event, or to just attend World Unity Week as a part of the audience.
So I've pulled up the list, and you'll see, everybody, you'll see that there's 5 tabs on the bottom, and we may add more tabs as we have more content to share. I don't think we've added the press release yet, but that's
not yet, no.
Right. So on this very first tab, we have the email schedule, and we have a list of all of the, as of last night's organizations that are listed in our system as co-conveners. If you've added it since last night, your company name or your name may not be here yet, so we'll continue. You can add it towards the bottom. So if you scroll down, you'll be able to go to, how many do we have? Keep going. Okay, 109. You can add add yours in if you don't see yours listed on here, and add your website link here. And this will be accessible from everybody who are co-conveners. So any information that you put here will be shared, will be able to be seen. And then we're asking that from the co-convener agreement that you have agreed to share an email that we'll provide on 2 different dates, and that you share those dates so that we have a good understanding of the communication flow and why all of a sudden our website got inundated, thanks to all these blasts that are happening. We're really grateful to know when those are going to happen. And so you can put those on here. And let's see, we'll scroll over. So it's pretty self-explanatory there.
How can we find this spreadsheet?
We're going to give it to
We'll
you, but we're introducing it to you right
Okay.
now, and then we'll
Yeah.
share the link.
We'll share the link. We'll share the link in the chat, but I believe we'll send an email out to everyone as well. So if you don't mind, Becky, clicking on the next tab, the email templates. So as I mentioned, we suggest the general copy explaining about World Unity Week, adding your language to it, tailoring invitation to whoever you want to send it to. If it's just an email blast, I think this will be a really good guidance. And then if you do wish to use that for like individual or specific invitation, feel free to do so. We've got their June assemblies. I have for now put the links to the Facebook events. There are short descriptions there if you wish to invite your presenters, your family, your friends, whoever, to attend that last June assembly where we want to gather all together. So if you scroll a little bit more to the right, Becky, I have also included the two major ambassadors, Deepak Chopra and Dr. Vandana Shiva. So these are the links to their videos posted on our Facebook page. If you do want to share that with your audience and your presenters for further sharing and further awareness of support that we're getting from Deepak and Dr. Vandana Shiva, these links are readily accessible through this spreadsheet. Email signature, Becky, if you want to jump in now.
Can I add something about the email
Sure.
template? So as you're reading the template, I think Irina did say this, but if there are things that you want to tweak so that it's more relevant, like if you want to add a paragraph that says, you know, that your organization will be presenting in the water source room, or will be presenting in the sacred lands, sacred sites room. This is a very much a starting place email template for you. So you can choose as you choose, you can edit and add your company's information to really accentuate your relationship with World Unity Week. But we wanted to give you a starting place for it because we know sometimes just that blank blinking cursor is like, oh, what am I going to say? Hopefully this will help you through the process. And we'll add the June assembly template. You know, we'll continue to add lots of details to this document that you'll have with many other resources as they come.
Yes, thank you, Becky. We are working with our graphic designer to create few flyers, for example, for ambassadors and just the simple promotional World Unity Week flyers. So we will be adding these and emailing you those as well. So stay tuned. We will have more promo material for you as we go along. I'll hand it over to you to talk about the email signature since it's your baby.
Sure. Again, so I just did this. I want to look at everybody. So I just did this with our team. So we're constantly inventing new things, and we're constantly realizing how very human we are, and how there are not 24 hours to be staying awake and answering emails. And so many questions I get asked can actually be answered in my email signature. So I beefed up my email signature, and then that got me thinking about all of you and how powerful an email signature can be. You know, many of you have your organizations listed and your website and things. And we thought how wonderful it would be if you chose to feature your relationship as a co-convener with your signature and leveraging that as you're sharing it out. So our intention with this collaboration with co-conveners is that each of us are PR people and marketing people for World Unity Week. And we will be able to bring, you know, communicate with people that we know within our group here and as we're growing, but really more just so significant and powerful is for us to collectively extend our reach and to say, how can we really bring in other people that have never heard of this, you know, and not just depend on Facebook to bring people through, which we don't actually depend on Facebook, but you know what I mean? Like, making sure we're doing intentional things. So we have, I've just put this as a starting place, and I'm actually already going to update it already because one of our links has changed to how to express interest in being involved with World Unity Week. But it's a starting place. So it just has insert my company name is grateful to be a co-convening partner of World Unity Week. And this is just your starting place. And of course, we want you to have your link to your company and everything as well. But just encourage you that if this resonates, we would so love and appreciate you adding any of this language and including the Zoom link for our Wednesdays, which the Wednesday WU meetings, the World Unity Week Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. We had to pick one time so we would all come together in our diversities of understanding of time, but we have one. And come to any of those meetings, because for so many of you, you may have found out about World Unity Week through those weekly meetings and the assemblies. And we thought, well, that would be great if people came through, and had the link actually to come to the meeting. So if you want to share that, we're grateful for that. We're casting our circle wider and wider to be as inclusive as possible and bring as many hearts and souls who may be blessed by World Unity Week through your email signature. Imagine that. So thank you for your consideration of that.
A couple of more things when it comes to promotion of World Unity Week, just so you are aware. We are working on promotional videos, so we will have a little promo video in the next couple of weeks. And also we are working closely again with Unify, who has a great outreach. So they will be heavily promoting World Unity Week 1 week before the event and after we have the promo video. They will also live stream some of the events, mainly those going from Room 1, plenaries, key speakers. However, we expect that will drive the traffic to World Unity Week, which is great, and we're so grateful for their support yet again this year. So things are happening. Please support from your end as much as you can with these email blasts and sharing on social media. As Becky mentioned, we will keep updating the spreadsheet as well as sending you additional promo material as it comes through from our graphic designer and our lovely team that it's working on it.
Irina,
wow, that's all really great. I have one suggestion. We have a weekly newsletter that goes out. So any articles or brief, things that we can put into the newsletter would probably really help also.
We're going to have a page that will have like boilerplate language that we'll add. We're actually working on our press release and we'll add that and you can extract from there. And we're going to ask for you all to take the press release and make it, tweak it and then send it out to your media contacts and see if you can spark some interest if it's local in your community to have coverage. We're thinking of, have this very similar press release sent out by 200 different organizations. The media is going to have to listen, right? Well, I'm not waiting for the media to listen. We are the new media, but we'll find ways to get it out, and definitely we'll add some paragraphs that you can easily copy and embed. We'll have images. There's a couple that are not in there yet, but we'll link to images that you can download and be able to use as well. And then
I would think that something that would inspire people about World Unity Week, like 100 words or 50 words. I mean, if there were like 3 pieces in the next couple of weeks, we can drop in the newsletters.
Yeah. All right. We will put that. We'll make a note of that and we'll add some things in there that you can draw from, put it in social media, put it in your newsletters, as well as these, the regular emails that you're doing. That would be great. Thank you for that idea.
So we have a lot of partners. We're part of Sign. So is Sign going to automatically restream everything from World Unity Week, or do we need to do that separately?
So actually we can talk about sign in a little bit too, but what will happen is sign members will organize the sign waves directly with Summer and John Raymer. Sign Network is a co-producer along with Unity Earth, Purpose Earth, and the Hague Center. And Sign Network has trusted sharing and our admin on over 200 Facebook pages. And so Sign members have the benefit of when they do go live during the convergence aspect of World Unity Week, that they could potentially show up on my page, Joy Fuel, and that we all share each other's content that's relevant to the different topics that our particular pages hold dear. So if you happen to be a Sign member and your joy is joy, then your content would appear on my page. So that's what Richard is talking about. Thank you for bringing that up. I'll put that in the chat, a link to the Sign Network where you can read more information, but that will actually be organized directly through Summer and John, and we'll figure out a way for that to happen during World Unity Week. There'll be a special way that he'll tell people where to go live in order to trigger the wave. So
yeah.
I wonder how many people are Sign members that are in this group, because they should be.
Thanks, Richard.
John would appreciate that. I don't think John's here yet. I know he's in another meeting
Yeah.
right now too.
We do.
It is amazing. And I was going to show one other thing when we're on the topic of. So as we are all PR and marketing people for World Unity Week, please like and engage and share. We actually have a social media chat now dedicated to every post that comes on World Unity Week. That's the only conversation that's happening in that chat. You can check it. And if you're added to it, you're welcome to put your email in the chat right now, or your Facebook name in the chat right now, and we'll add you to that group. So what that means is that chat says Facebook like and share is I think the name of the chat, and then you get notified when there's a new message on World Unity Week, or you can just go out there and like and comment on 5 links that you see in there, and then forget about it for a couple of days and then go in again. And so what we're trying to do is, again, like Sign Network does, have the collected sharing and the collected intentional engagement with social media so that we can actually sway things. We've started this week, and we've already seen, our content is amazing, but the algorithms, if they don't think it is, it's not going anywhere. So the more likes and engagement we have, everybody here is empowered to like, share, comment, and get those algorithms going. Even if you're like, I saw this post already, how come it doesn't say I liked it? Like it. Like, let's just all use our superhuman powers to click, like, share. And the reason being, then people that never heard of World Unity Week may discover it through the collective energy that we're putting around these posts that are coming out. And we, in addition to setting up a Facebook chat group this week, we also set up Twitter. We're grateful to our friend Tex, who's helping to be the bridge between Facebook and Twitter. So we're now tweeting for World Unity Week. We have our Facebook page. We're growing and gaining momentum and amazing social media, and everyone here is invited to join our social media team and PR team. We're planning another meeting. We had a great meeting of which these ideas were born at the meeting earlier this week. So we're grateful for everyone's ideas. And
so, Becky, are you asking us for our pages and our personal Facebook, or what are you asking for?
It's just your personal Facebook name. So I'm facebook.com/Becky Suzik. You put that in the chat, then we'll know that we can add you to that chat. And then as you choose to read that chat, you can scroll through, and anything, the suggestion is when you've engaged with content, you just put a thumb in that chat, right. And then you know that you've engaged with it. But then you just look again in a couple of days, and then you see, oh, there's 5 more things I haven't engaged with. So
don't you want people's pages too, though?
Well, the pages, we won't be adding those to the chat. This is just for the individuals too. Okay. I don't think you can add a page representative to a Facebook chat. I think it has to be individual.
Yeah, it has to be individual. But then when you go to the Facebook post, I'm pretty sure you can choose how you want to like it. and you can like from both. You can like from your personal profile and as your page.
Yeah, and then mine automatically feeds over to about 5 other pages. So
great. Yeah, then you can
That's
share
5
things.
likes.
Yeah, that's right. That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. So if anybody is there, we'll gather those up and you'll get added to the group after our call today, and you start sharing the more social media. We thought this was easier than, you might find out about a new World Unity Week post or not, depending on the temperature of Facebook in the moment. So we thought this is a good way of collecting all the posts there and letting you know when they're available for you to engage with. So I think did we get through all of the tabs, Irina?
We did, yes. So I think the last tab was social media links. Obviously, press release is not quite ready yet, but I believe we're not too far off, Becky. So we will have that out very soon.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering if Carol can have a minute to ask a question. She had the hand raised for quite some time. Carol, are you there? Do you want to ask a question? And we do have quite a few questions in the chat, which I'll go through. I just wanted to give Carol an opportunity since she had her hand raised for the last 10 minutes.
That's okay. I'm patient. Work as much with children as I do and not learn to be patient. The question I have is, I don't have an email, a website for Nurture the Children. I have a website for our annual Water is Life walks. Do I need to establish a Nurture the Children website? I don't have a website because Nurture the Children is a product of my heart education program that I've been doing since 1992, but it's not a business. I don't charge, so I never put a website out there for it. When we started doing the Water is Life walks, well, now we wanted people to pay attention because we really wanted to pull people out to the water. The reason I do them is because, number one, women always carried our water, and so by walking our waters is when you reconnect to that water. And so in order to fix all the problems we're having with our water, we first have to fix the human to water connection. And so I was convinced by wiser, younger people than me, more techie. Do I need to establish one for Nurture the Children?
Not necessarily. You can nominate whichever website you want to use and be linked to. From our perspective, it doesn't matter. It just means when we create the Trello card for your presentation, that will be the website visible on that Trello card and on the program.
Okay, so
but it's up to you.
That one.
Yeah,
I did list that one because it wouldn't let me finish if I didn't. So I just wanted to be sure.
And for the list,
fine.
Sorry, Irina.
I was just going to say it's perfectly fine. Whichever website you wish to nominate, that's entirely up to you.
And for the list of all of the pay, the way you add your dates for the emails that you're going to send, if you don't have a website, you don't have to list anything there. That's completely fine to leave that blank as well.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I've been sharing on Facebook, so I will I can share on Water is Life walk though.
Okay,
and so,
great.
That's not a problem.
Thank you
very much.
I know we have a lot of questions in the chat, and
we do. Yes.
I saw somebody.
Hold up. So should I start reading them from the start?
Yeah.
And yeah, if I miss some out, please raise your hand and bring us back into your question. So Sheila, my dear sister from the Feminine Rising Room, has asked, what are the 2 recommended dates for the email blasts? I really want to say it's up to you. We approximately 3 weeks before the event. So maybe over I don't know how often you usually send the email blasts and updates to your database. But if you haven't done already, maybe just spread, over the next 3 weeks. I don't think that we should control when you when you send your newsletters and your updates. That's really up to you. So maybe next week, and then wait another week, and then 1 week before the event, which would actually be really good. Hope that helps. Okay, Laurie is asking, can we provide a logo file to use? And yes, we should. That's probably something that we overlooked. So thank you, Laurie, for reminding us. Yes, we should. We should probably send that in an email, Becky. What do you reckon?
What we can do is we'll create a tab for images and we'll hyperlink to where they're hosted on Google. We'll put them in a folder that you can click. If you're not able to download it from the link we're giving you to this co-convener resource document, then you'll be able to click it and go to where it is to download it. But we may be able to figure out a way to actually put it inside this document in its full size, so that you can click on it, right click and save, or open it and download it. There will be different options for how you can grab those.
All right, so next question is one that everyone is asking, but Zena was brave enough to put it in the chat. Where can we find a list of room topics? And I'm glad that Beck is going to be one to answer this.
Yes. Well, we are so excited to be revealing all of the names of our convergence rooms. We have 29 so far, and we will have all of the rooms born by next week. We have I think June 1st is when we're hoping all of the room names will be firmed up, but we're at 29. And so what will happen is, when you get some of you were on the call in the very beginning, and I'll repeat this. If you have registered to express an interest as an event host, or if you registered at all, you're going to get an email from us. I think it will come from John Raymer, but if you hit reply, it'll probably come to me, and it will say, dear insert name, thank you for registering for World Unity Week. Here is a link to your One World dashboard, your One World participation dashboard, and keep this email, which is a very important point that I'm going to say multiple times, because every single person has their own link based on your email address and your submission. So what will happen is that dashboard is how you will be able to update your information. And I can share that in a couple minutes. I'll pull it up when I have a second to find it. But you'll be able to add your event that you would like to submit. And how this answers the question of the convergence rooms is, when you choose, it will say, choose a room for me, or I'd like to choose my room. When you click, I'd like to choose my room, there'll be a drop down of all 29 rooms that you can choose to submit your presentation in. And there will be, this is why it's been some time in the World Unity Week birth canal, so to speak, because we are creating an image that has the names of all the convergence rooms, so that when you click on it, you can read a description of each of the rooms. There are several rooms that will not be accepting unsolicited, if you will, events. For example, One Spirit Learning Alliance, they're focusing their programming on their ministers and faculty. The Evolutionary Leaders and Social Synergy Foundation has a room, and those will be for that particular group. And the Sacred Stories, Light on Light, and I know there's another one. I think it may be the Global Fire Ceremony Room, which is where Brother Phil Lane and Sister Adriana will have their amazing programs that are coming through. So, but it will be detailed in the when you read the descriptions. So you'll see all of the different topics, the different room names, and then be able to click again to further understand what is it being offered in each room. The convergence rooms are open June 22nd through June 25th. The convergence is June 19th through the 26th. So for 4 days, the convergence rooms are open. For 4 days, they are not. On the days that they are not, we will have plenaries where we will meet in room 1. And when the convergence is happening during those 4 days, when the convergence rooms are open, there will be 4 hours a day that will be dedicated to plenary programs that we go to room 1 for, but the other 20 hours potentially could have programming. And again, all things are listed in Eastern Daylight New York time. We apologize for those of you that's not your time zone. We had to pick one time zone to convert from for the rest of the world. So if you just intend to familiarize yourself with doing that conversion on a regular basis, hopefully you'll get, we're getting coherence about the time. It is a challenge, but that's what we do. And all of our communications, we have Eastern Daylight Time listed. So there is a full list that will be coming in your one dashboard. If you're submitting an event, you can choose from, and you'll be able to see that. So that's where the list is. And eventually it will be on our worldunityweek.org website. There will be a map that will have that Kara Stonehouse from the Hague Center is creating. It's astonishingly beautiful. I can't wait for the big reveals, so we get to share it with you very soon. And it will have the spaces that will hold and house all of the convergence rooms and the Sparkleverse space that we have coming. And you'll be able to click on it and see, that's how you'll be able to navigate through the one world universe, is using this beautiful map that's coming through. So that will be on our website, and you'll be able to see those there. And then the convergence rooms themselves, each will have a convergence room Trello board. That's what, if you were on the call at the very end of our Room Steward training, you were hearing about. And each convergence room space has a Trello board dedicated to it with a schedule that is that particular room's schedule. So there are so many pieces behind the scenes that are happening, and so many hearts and hands that are doing this amazing unity and purpose, this lifting together. And we're just so grateful for everyone here, your dedication, your volunteerism, your acts of kindness and generosity, and being co-conveners with and for us. And in any other capacity that you wish to bring forth your gifts, we are really grateful. I know I just shared an awfully lot of information, and I just want to reiterate that each of the different stages, just like this meeting that we're having, we will have training and support and videos that will support people. So if you're new and you think, well, I want to volunteer, am I too late? No, you're not too late. You're right on time. Whenever you arrive is right on time, and we'll help you find your way in so that you can express your gifts and volunteer during World Unity Week.
Thank you, Becky. Next questions, Jay Billing. Hi, Jay. So Jay's saying that he saw a couple of different versions of his or their organization on the list. If they can edit the spreadsheet and delete the ones that are not relevant, does that communication make it into our database, meaning World Unity Week database, so they can get removed? Unfortunately, no. You can delete once we share the link and give access, editing access to everyone. You can absolutely update and delete your organizational details. However, the spreadsheet's not linked to our internal system. The spreadsheet's been manually created by Becky and I just to provide you guys support. So no, it's not going to automatically delete from the internal system.
Irina, one thing we might be able to do is if you write delete to the right of the one that you need to be deleted, then we know to look that up and to delete it in the system. So if there is a duplicate, and then we'll delete the word delete and we'll delete that ourselves. Because I think I locked all of the names. We had some challenges with another board that we were co-sharing where some things were accidentally getting deleted because it's so much information. So I say that just to advise everyone to click gently in this document. Don't accidentally delete someone. If you do Control Z if you're on the computer, and it will undo what you just did. That's my friend. I'm always removing my mistakes, like, oh, Control Z, at least on the PC. But perhaps, what do you think of that idea, Irina, if they write?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's great. Yep. Do that. That's an excellent idea. And I'm scrolling down through the comments and questions. A lot of people are leaving their Facebook profiles to be added to the social media chat. Okay, global programs of URI. Hello. Is there a new Trello board training scheduled? That's the question. Do we have a Trello board training?
We have.
Excuse my ignorance.
We have that's a new one. You're leading that one next week, Irina. So what we're doing for our room stewards and our event hosts, they're two different very important roles during World Unity Week. We have trainings to support people. So if your organization, I know that URI is stewarding a room with several organizations. There are a couple of the members of that particular room, which one of the rooms is May Peace Prevail on Earth, who have been attending our room steward trainings. So they have that awareness of the stewarding and they can share that information with you. And also we have recordings. So if you're interested in stewarding a room and you have not attended our room steward training, that's where the Trello training comes through. You can get with your other co-stewards and they can share information. And you can also add room steward as a volunteer role to your one dashboard when you get it. If you haven't had that checked on there, if you're not getting email linky love from me, then you'll, by expressing new interest as a room steward, you'll get a link to the recordings from today's session that we had, which hopefully will be really helpful to people who are co-stewarding a space. So that hopefully answers them. Also, we have event host trainings for all of our event hosts. Those are people who are presenting, performing, holding a panel or a performance in one of the convergence rooms. We have our next training for event hosts is June 10th. All of our trainings we're trying to list them in the weekly WUW newsletter that Irina puts together with Priya each week. At the bottom of the email, you can scroll down and see that week's trainings. And also those are listed on World Unity Week Facebook page. And I'll put the link in the chat, but you can actually go to the events page and click load more and keep loading more until you see all of the dates. We continue to add more trainings there. So hopefully that's TMI, too much information. Oh, good question.
That was a good question. That was actually a really good question. Thank you. Can we get a link to the promotional spreadsheet? Yes, I think just before we close this meeting, it would be beneficial to put that link alone in the chat. So we finish the chat with that link because, yeah, there's so many comments in the chat right now. So we don't want anyone to miss out on getting the link to the spreadsheet. And it seems like that's it. Oh, no, sorry. Bob Atkinson. Hi, Bob. Bob is asking, is the reason I got an error message when submitting description on the One World form that it's not live yet or something else? Is that form live yet, Becky? Do you know?
It is live. And did John give you your link to your dashboard, or are you talking, Bob, about the new link that we're now releasing. Are you still here, Bob?
Yeah, Bob's here. I can see him.
Okay. Can you unmute?
I just filled it out, and the last item was about choosing the room you want to be in. And I don't know if that was the reason, but but the message I got was insufficient permissions to create new select option. I'll select my preferred room.
Did you take an image of that by chance, a photograph of that, or did you see that?
You want me to send you a screenshot? of
Yeah,
that?
can you, if you have it, send it to me and John and I will look at it. So
Okay.
when you're when you're submitting your events through the system that you're going to get invitation to the One World participation dashboard, when you click add an event, there is a box that you have to check that says connect me with a room steward now. And if that's not checked, I don't believe it gets created. And that's what I suspect happened, Bob, was there's a checkbox there. It actually says it, but it's towards the bottom. So if you get an error message, just look back over all of the things that you have there, if they're still on the screen, and make sure that you submit, if you're submitting an event, that little checkbox that says connect me with a room steward, because in order for your event proposal to be created, you need to be connected with a steward. And what happens is when you click that, it generates cards in the system behind the scenes, which is why this has been such a labor of love the last couple of weeks, testing all of these things, because it solves so many time-consuming things that are now will be AutoMagic. John calls them AutoMagic, automatic that it happens. But if you don't check that little box, connect me with a room steward, then it won't generate that. So that is what I suspect happened.
I did check that box to connect me with a steward.
All right, then definitely send me the link, because we've tested it, but we will make sure that it's right. That's why we haven't sent the links to everybody yet. We want to make sure that it's right. It's coming. It's in the World Unity Week birth canal. I can feel it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for bringing that up.
We do have another question in relation to the sign up and the form from the School of the Heart online, and they would like to sign up as a co-convener. So do they use the new link? Yep.
If they have not filled anything out yet, then this is the
Sounds
link.
like it.
So I'm going to put a note in the chat. So for new participants, this is the link that you would go to, and you would choose co-convener and volunteer or event host, whatever other roles you might like to attend. And then you'll get automation, you'll get a welcome message from each of those roles. And we're updating those automations to have a link back to your dashboard, where you've heard me, if you've been in other meetings with me, make chicken noises, because it's the chicken and the egg. We're like going like, we have to have this before we have this, but how can we have this without having this? So we're just we're moving through. And I say this too, like that beautiful word chaos order, as we're navigating this space and the thousands of possibilities that we're part of here in this space. And know that I know that Irina and I have shared a lot of information, and we try so hard to be clear and not have confusion. If you feel confused, it's okay. We're here to answer your questions. We're here to support you with love, and to be able to hopefully bless you with your understanding that is ever emergent. It's always becoming, even through World Unity Week. And just plant another seed with everyone that during World Unity Week itself, on your one dashboard and on every single Trello board and on the One World Universe map, there is a magic link that takes you to this magic portal that is called the Hub. Here you belong. And it is a Zoom room that is dedicated to supporting everyone, sort of like the hotel concierge front desk, like, help, I run out of toothpaste. You can come to this hub. We might not be able to give you toothpaste, but we will be able to answer your questions, because all of us here will be working in the hub, and Karen is here. She's actually our hub holder and will be our volunteer coordinator, and we'll be creating a training dedicated to people who'd like to support in the hub. You don't have to have any experience at all. I had no experience running a hub when I first started working there, and I seem to know a lot now. So the hub is like this amazing way to learn, and then also to be supported by the community. If you can't find a room that you thought you were supposed to go to, or you're having difficulty with navigating something, it's this wonderful space. So I just let you all know that, because some of you may not know about the hub, and it will be open during World Unity Week. Sign up to volunteer, click hub, and then Karen will be in touch when we figured out when the training will be for that beautiful role.
And you're all responsible for brushing your own teeth before you go live. We should put that in a co-convener agreement.
That's right.
There's no toothpaste in hub.
We have bamboo toothbrushes though. The better toothbrush.
Zoom does have makeup. It can make you pretty.
That's true.
Yes, we need some makeup artists.
Yeah, we can
And
put
facial
lipstick
hair
on you and change your eye color.
Yeah. Especially after we've been awake for 48 hours in front of the screen on Zoom.
Yes.
Okay, so there are a couple more questions. I think probably the most important one to finish off, or just before we finish, is question about, is the new participation form going to be emailed? Is that coming? Yes, I believe so. I think we will be on top of that as soon as is ready, or as soon as it goes live. We will send an email out to co-conveners, presenters, everyone who has signed up to be part of the World Unity Week. You will receive that link.
I have a question.
Yes, I did leave that.
Were you referring to my question when you were just saying that, or no?
No, I was going to say that Rick has a question that it's my understanding relevant to We the World. So maybe if you want to ask your question, Rick, out loud.
Sure. So it was to you, Becky. Did you create a participation form for We the World's room that notifies us as well as you when people sign up?
We actually chose not to create exclusive links for different convergence rooms. It's all through that same link. So that is the link, Rick, that you'll be able to share with those event hosts that you would like to invite to put forth their events in your rooms. If you choose to do it that way, you can share that link. My understanding is that your room is also supporting event proposals that come from others than those that you've invited, whereas some of our other rooms are more dedicated to invitation only, if you will. Is that right, Rick? Yours?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it is. But the question is, when people sign up through the form, do we get a notice as well as you?
So what happens? So what happens is the AutoMagic happens. So we'll get to a place where it's very quick, like within an hour. But out of the starting gate, we next, after we launch this form, we're now creating the Convergence Room Trello boards. So those of you that are stewards will get, by the weekend, we're hoping, your own room's Convergence Room board, the Trello board dedicated to the schedule. And on your board, Rick, will be the incoming proposed events. And that when you look at your board is when you'll see there's new ones there, and you and Angel and I think Jana are the ones that are co-stewarding your space will look at that board, you know, as often as you choose to then join that card and navigate them through the system. And honestly, I can't remember if your team was on we've been doing so many trainings and I see everybody. I'm so happy to see everybody. I can't remember when what room I've seen people in. It's all blurring into unity for me. If they missed the Room Steward training today, there will be a video that comes in the next 24 hours that provides that specific information. But basically you'll have to go and check. You won't get an email when it's in there. You'll get.
Can you set up the Trello? Can we set up our Trello boards to be notified when when a new card gets added?
What you'll do is you'll put a watch on that particular list that says you've got a new incoming proposed event in that proposed. You can add yourself to that list, and then you'll get a notification however you set it up through Trello. Like you get an
that's
email.
great. And are these Trello boards already set up, or what's
no,
the story?
they're another chicken and the egg. They're coming. They're coming. We had to make sure that we had all of the fields ready, because when we duplicate the boards, we have to make sure that we're duplicating the one. Otherwise, we have to go back and manually make
do it again.
to every
I get
single.
it.
So it's
right.
So
no, I get it. The last part of the question has to do with the dashboard, and how does that connect with the? I mean, I haven't seen the dashboard.
Well, you know what I would like to do? So I'm going to probably be sending everybody a link to this in the, hang on, when you get your One World dashboard. But as John Raymer was not able to be here with us, I have a 3-minute video that I think will answer many questions about the One World dashboard that will probably come in your email that you get as well. But I think it's worth the 3 minutes because repetition is the mother of all skill, as they say. So this is John Raymer. He shared this during the weekly call yesterday. It was the introduction to the One World participation dashboard. So everyone here will be able to see what you're about to get in the email very soon. So I'm going to mute myself so that you can watch this, and then we'll answer some more questions.
It's actually Becky's. Everybody who's signed up to play, their own participation dashboard. What does that mean? Well, there's a couple of ways you could say you want to participate, and that's what changes things. If you just want to attend, still this is going to be helpful, because if you turn this off, you'll be able to go through here, learn more about Purpose Earth, how you can support that, learn more about Weaver, and stay in the game. But if you want to do more than just attend, like a lot of you have events you want to host, presentations, experiences, facilitations, things you want to bring. If you click on that, it's going to ask you for a little bit more information so we can contact you. But it's also going to let you go here and say, okay, I have a proposal of an event that I want to produce. And you'll put in the name, its description. If you say there's any additional hosts or co-hosts that will be in it with you, you put in here the desired time you'd like it to happen. And then you can either say, hey, let us pick a room based upon your name and description. Or you could say, no, I'll select my room. And then the list of rooms are here. And that's what kind of you asked about this. This is all emerging right now. So then when you push this little, check this switch and say, okay, my event proposal is complete. Now I know that we want to create not only an event card on each event in Trello, we want to create an event host card about you. So we're asking you to give us your bio and your headshot. You know, if you understand that and you say yes, when I push this button, some AutoMagic happens. And that event card gets created in Trello. And we'll be able to notify you that the card now exists. We'll notify the steward who's in that room that there's a new submission, and the process by which you as an event host and that steward work through the details to get the scheduling confirmed, to get the resources you need, a Zoom tech if that's what you need, or videos that need to be shared, whatever it is. There's a process by which the stewards and the hosts work together. That same dashboard works if you want to just be a volunteer and you say, hey, you know what? I can help with Zoom, or I could be in the hub, which is the place we call Here You Belong for answering people's questions. All of that is available to you in this dashboard. You want to enter the Sparkleverse, that would be available to you there. That point of access, a single point of access, is one of the things that we think is going to help overcome some of the complexity. So if I get rid of this event submission here without submitting it, if I went up here and I turned that off, that won't be there anymore. If I put on volunteer, I could say, all right, I could be a room steward, I could be part of the production team, PR and marketing. There's lots of ways to play. It's all about paddling together. It's all about recognizing that we are better together. And there are demonstrative ways that we can show this. And that's the dream for me of the Magic Canoe. We're moving between worlds. A world where a beloved community can really thrive. We can discover together, what does that actually mean?
John Raymer. Thank you, John. See, he's in 2 Zoom rooms. Somebody asked me, how can you be in 2 Zoom rooms at the same time? Like John Raymer does that because he's AutoMagic. So what he's talking about is the One World participation dashboard. And we've had nearly 500 people already express interest in all of the different capacities, many of you as co-conveners. And so you will have a dashboard waiting for you to edit. So if you haven't yet selected volunteer and you'd like to, you'll be able to add that to your One World participation dashboard. You can express it. If you don't want to do something other than present, that's the only one that it's a little bit more, if to cancel an event, you have to communicate with your steward once it's been submitted. But if you don't want to get emails anymore about, and you're not room stewarding, you can turn off the room steward, click, deselect that, and then you would not receive that communication anymore. So we think that it's I'm just blown away by it, like how much we were doing manually that now we'll be able to automate by empowering all of you. We'll be creating more videos like that. I just grabbed that from the recording last night so that we could send something out to help everybody understand what the One World dashboard is. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you.
I hope it was helpful too. I can see some comments in the chat that people are getting a little bit confused and expressing there's too much information to take in, and we do appreciate you expressing how you feel. That's helpful to us. And my best advice would be just take one step at a time. If you originally filled out the participation form a few weeks ago, the next step is really just to wait for that follow-up email where we will introduce the updated form. So you'll receive the link, click on that link, go step by step, filling in the details that the form is asking you to fill in according to your choices, whether you want to present or be co-convener. And yeah, just one step at a time. After you've done that, the next communication will also come from us, introducing your room steward, confirming the time, the preferred time of your presentation. So please don't stress, don't think too much about how we're going to get all this done. That's what we're here for. So yeah, just one step at a time. You filled out the original participation form, wait until the next communication that will come from us, and we'll go from there. I hope that that gives you some comfort and further explanation and support. And I think we should probably put the links here for the spreadsheet. So maybe just to quickly summarize without further confusion. So let's put the link of the promotional spreadsheet in the chat as we're wrapping up this meeting. Do you have it handy, Becky? I do. If you don't,
I'll put it in, and I'll put a note with what it is. And everybody's invited to save the chat if you choose to. Click the 3 dots after I've added this link here for you. And you will get this in an email, including a link to our recording. And we are really grateful for everyone's presence in wherever you are on the learning. You know, we're constantly learning and growing, and we realized that we did share a lot, and just want to bless people with information, and we want to limit confusion, but recognize that confusion is part of it as we're doing this collaborative co-creation. But our training aspires to reduce the pain of any confusion. So we hope we get there. And if you need additional support, anyone who is confused, Irina and I are here for you, and we will help you through that. So so here is the document that you can edit and add your information. And if it needs to be deleted, you can write delete in there, and we'll refine that. We'll send this to you through, actually, I put the wrong thing in there. I actually put the form. Hang on, I grabbed it, but it.
But I do, maybe you picked up on my thoughts telepathically. I do want to share the form as well, but just without any further confusion. So if we can just make it clear in the chat about those two things. So the link that Becky just put in the chat, which is the Google spreadsheet, that's your promotional spreadsheet. If you want to copy that, save it on your files, on your device, and just know that's the one that you follow for the promotional requirements and promotional support. And if we can pop a link for the participation form, the updated one, the latest one. And maybe just to make clear that even that you've filled out the original participation form, the simple one where you've already chosen to be a presenter or to be a co-convener, you're still filling out this updated one. So maybe if we can just have those two things and follow those two steps for now. Keep the link to the spreadsheet for your promotional guidelines and fill out the updated participation form. And
Rena, are you saying that we're supposed to fill out the updated form even though we did the older one?
Yes, my understanding is yes, Becky.
Well, if you what's going to happen if you've already expressed interest as a co-convener, you need do nothing now, and you're listed on the site. What's going to happen is we're sending out the one dashboard to everyone who's already expressed interest. If you express interest right now, if your info is missing, then we will consolidate your records with your previous record. How about that? So if you're not sure if you've filled out the participation form and you don't see your logo on the site, then go ahead and
yeah, do it.
Yeah, but if you see your logo on the site, then hopefully we're covered on that end, and you can wait a little bit, a few more hours till we get some love in your inbox with your One World participation form.
David?
Yes, a question. So I'm representing several different presenters, and so that each one of them needs to be entered to have a room, or that I would do that for everybody?
Yes, that's actually going to be a Room Steward question, and I can talk with you about that separately, David. We have, and I'll support you through that. So please ping me an email. We'll put our emails in the chat again. Irina is overseeing all of the co-convener relations, and I'm supporting the stewards and event hosts, and we both help each other in it. So if you accidentally send something to one, we communicate with each other. But
yeah,
just to clear, I'll send it for you.
And I do want to give answer to one last comment or question. Where do people get support for Weaver? So if someone's struggling with finding their way around Weaver, where do they go, Becky? Who do they go to?
So I'm going to put in the chat for everyone a Weaver 14-minute video that is a great introduction. So if you are new to Weaver and you don't know what it is, you want to join Weaver, that's going to be in the chat. If you're having a problem with Weaver, you can send an email to John Raymer, john@compassiongames.org, or to me. And basically the problem may be, though, is it may have gone in your spam folder. If you registered and you didn't receive the email, it may be in your spam or in your notifications. And just as a practice with World Unity Week content as well, we're finding that some of the things are being naughtily and wrongfully placed in spam instead of in the regular inbox. So if you're expecting something, just keep checking checking it, because we want to make sure that you find it. So check there. I'm going to put this series of links in there. If you're new, you want to join Weaver, you'll have that too. And I'm going to put both Irina's and my email address. So hopefully this will help everybody who wants more info about Weaver.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us today for the great co-convener support and info. I hope it was helpful to you. And if there's anything at any time, please just reach out, either myself or Becky, and we'll be there for you. 3 weeks to go.
Great job, Becky and Irina. You really led us through a lot of complex information. It's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Becky and Irina and everybody.
Amazing. Everyone's
Take care and be well.
Yes, you too all. Take